This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The biggest stars, the brightest stage. AT&T WNBA All-Star 2025 comes to Indianapolis July 18th through 19th. Tune into the game July 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC.
This is Jana Kramer from Wind Down with Jana Kramer. When we were deciding on our appliances for the house, Samsung was at the top of our list. And I love my Samsung appliances, especially because they're so reliable. And with my busy schedule, having reliable appliances has been a game changer. It's no wonder Samsung is the #1 brand for customer satisfaction. That's why I'm excited to tell you all about Samsung's new line of smart appliances featuring their brand new bespoke AI laundry combo. This incredible magic machine washes and dries in one machine, one load, no transfers, no timers, no rewashing needed. New bespoke AI appliances. This is home living made simple. For more information, visit samsung.com/bespoke.
68-minute cycle based on 27-inch combos, based on using a super speed cycle only with a 10-pound DOE load, cotton 50% plus polyester 50%. Individual results may vary based on actual load content.
Fan.
Bonus Bucks is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com. Bonus Bucks is presented by BigDeck.com.
So Deuce and I are watching the Twins game last night, and we freeze the picture looking for you in the Champions Club. We did not see you.
I was far away from that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I can't remember. Close by. Near third base. Yeah. Fun game.
Tickets are available to everybody.
Well, they are. I'm going back tonight. I'm going back with my daughter and Karin. There are a lot of Cub fans there last night. They just were very quiet, except for one inning when the Cubs made a little bit of noise. But you would never known they were there until they had runners on first and second or something with nobody out, and the crowd came alive. I'm sure it'll be like that again tonight, but the Twins just dominated.
You ripped the club yesterday.
I didn't rip the club.
Yeah. You said they were an okay team.
You asked me about last night's game or the rest of the season? I mean, probably the rest of the season. I mean, last night, again, like I said, let's see them string some wins together. Their lineup, when you look at it, even though they scored 2 runs until, the 8th inning when they, brought the reliever in, they just smashed him with 3 home runs.
He just threw up a hodgepodge of
pitches.
Oh,
my God, did he ever. Then they brought in the old, I was noticing they didn't have anybody warmed up in the bullpen. I was talking to these folks next to me. And
the game was over at that point.
Yeah, so they bring in one of the position players to throw batting practice like they do during the home run derby. I thought Buxton might hit one out because he's getting
They're desecrating the game.
They are. I totally agree. We were talking about it last night. I said the things I love about the changes in baseball are the clock for the pitcher, not being able to throw over to first base more than once or twice. I mean, twice, I think. And then, what else is the other thing I like? I guess those are the 2 things I like. I still don't like the man on second base in extra innings. I'm not in favor of robot umpires.
You're not?
No, not really. No, I'm just not.
Why are you against it?
I just think
they get it right.
It depends because every umpire's got a different strike zone, and once you find out that,
well, how can they have a different strike zone? The strike zone is established, though. It's supposed to be like, I don't know what it is. It's letters to knees, but that's what it is in the rule.
But once an umpire takes over home plate, that umpire,
he should be fired if he doesn't.
You will hear, like even in the broadcast I watched the other day, Well, the umpire's squeezing the pitchers.
I know, but what I'm saying is he shouldn't be allowed to do that. Why is that allowed? I've ranted about this for years.
I know you
Why
have.
is he allowed to just, you know what? I'm going to make up my own strike zone.
Well, it's not a question of making it up.
Well,
it's
that's what
how
he's
they
doing.
interpret the strike zone during that time.
Interpret a strike
And I
zone.
just think that, I don't know. I'll miss the kind of the look that, again, we rarely have those classic arguments with, the old Earl Weaver, even Tom, even Ron Gardenhire got kicked out a lot because instant replay, I think and that was another thing. Instant replay has been good for the game, I think, because it usually doesn't take a long time. They put the headsets on. They go, the guy was safe, the guy was out, whatever it might be. I think that's been really good for the game because it doesn't take forever to review it. So overall, I think they've made some good changes in the game to speed it up. They were at the game in the 8th inning. Last night, I turned to my daughter. I went, my God, this game's 2 hours old, and we're in the 8th inning.
Do you think referees in football should just be allowed to, I'll determine what I think holding is?
Well, they do
today.
now.
Well, no, the hold is a hold.
But they don't, but it's exactly you just made my point.
No, I didn't.
It's all in the eye of the hold. They could call holding, as you know, just on just about every play. So depending on the crew, and there's many times you hear like so-and-so's crew is going to come, Hockley's crew is going to come in here, and they're known for not calling a lot of pass interference penalties or whatever it is. So that's an interpretation. Right. We all know that. So, I think all those crews have different ways of doing things, and most of the time head coaches are aware of it.
You like the discretion of the umpire to establish what he feels is a strike zone for that game.
Well, I'm saying I like it. I think it's the way it is. Yeah. I just don't know if the robotic umpires would solve it. And we'll find out. I guess they're going to do it during the All-Star game. I was reading last night. They might try it next week, the All-Star break.
The system they've done with that I've seen at St. Paul Saints games, where like the coach can challenge it, and then that review takes 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's over quickly, so it's not interrupting the flow of the game. I love it. I think it's great.
The robotic?
Yeah, the challenge system they use with the robotic umpires.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that very well may work. That's probably the way it's going to go, because it's going to put these guys out of business. And one of them, they're still going to have umpires during the bases, right? Again, and that's almost a moot point.
Well, the way the Saints are doing, the way the minor leagues do it, the umpires are still there making calls at home plate. It's not like they're just gone and we're only going by computer. They're making calls, but it's just like in the NFL. If you want to challenge an official's,
right?
Yeah, that's what you can do. I'm not sure how many challenges they get, but
what about strike zones?
What do you mean? What about strike zones?
You said the umpires are still there at home plate.
The umpires are making all the calls, balls and strikes.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yes, but then if you don't like a call on a ball or strike, you can immediately tap your helmet and challenge it.
Wow.
And then they go to a quick review system. It's like when you watch tennis, right? They do the same thing for tennis. There's an umpire making the calls, but if they need a decision whether a ball was out or in,
so
they have that technology. They have the technology that goes whether it was in or out. The same thing with the strike zone.
So they're looking at an established league-wide strike zone that's been established for years and years between the shoulders or whatever and the knees. And there's no variation then. That's basically it. That's interesting.
Boy, a new nickname for Rosie would be a good State Fair T-shirt idea. Roller Coaster Rosen. One day he likes this Twins club, one day he doesn't.
No, that's not even the question. I said to you yesterday, you asked me, I wasn't ripping the team.
Oh.
I said I'd like to see them.
I was blushing.
String together a few more wins. I said, I don't know, can they catch? They're not going to catch Detroit, but it's about competing for a wild card spot. And do they have the starting pitching? Do they have the hitting, which has been, off and on, sporadic, hitting with men in scoring position, doing the little things well. And I said, I wasn't ripping them. I said, this is the way they've been. This is, they're trying to get back to 500. They're not a 500 team yet. They're 44 and 47. So that kind of says it all right there. They got to get back to 500, and then we can start talking about, kind of catching up to the wild card teams. And that's going to be their ceiling this year. And that's fine if they get in, but that's sort of what the expectations are that the poll ads have laid out for the fan base. Just be happy we get to the wild card. That's kind of it, right? That's been. Can't argue with that.
I've been saying that for 30 years.
I know. So when you're asking me about
forever.
And it's fun. They're like last night. It was the Cubs are a good team. They're in first place. They're 50. I'm looking at the record. They're 54 and 37. Simeon Woods Richardson was brilliant for 5 innings, and that was about the extent of what he was going to go. He's trying to, there's a pitch count with him, and he did a great job last night. And then it's interesting because I thought, here Rocco was going to manage it the way he normally does. As the game went on, then he had Stewart come in, Sands came in for an inning, Jax came in for an inning, and I thought, well, Duran's going to come in for the 9th inning if it's still a 2-0 game, which normal circumstances he would have. But then you find out he was sent home sick yesterday, so he wasn't available. So I don't know what they would have done in the 9th had it remained 2-0. But of course, then the Twins exploded for 6 runs and it became a moot point. And they put some guy out, left-hander out there named Wentz, who kind of, got through the getting a hard hit double play to end the game. So that took the job out of his hands. So yeah, but it was good to see. But again, it's like staying consistent, and being better than they have been. I mean, they just can't afford to have any more of those lulls, long lulls that they've had. And, maybe they'll respond second half of the season. Hope they do. Not a roller coaster. That's just the way it's been. Roller coaster. They are a roller coaster team based on their record. That's who they are.
Roller coaster. I really like that. That's good.
I do too.
And then the T-shirt would show like a roller coaster with like you see at Valley Fair, Woo! And then you sitting in the front like that.
My hands going up like that. All
roller coaster.
Hope Little B's listening. It's not. They're just. I don't think I've seen any State Fair T-shirts yet.
Roller coaster Rosen. So good.
It is. I don't mind that one at all.
Let's take a break as we toss it to break. 10 and B cash, right? Cash in, cash out?
Yeah, the Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword bank at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is bank. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Hot days, humid nights, and non-stop plans. All that heat can increase hair shedding, while a packed schedule can add stress, which can impact your hair. Nutrafol's whole-body approach and clinically tested formulas support your hair from within, so you can focus on living your best life all summer long.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
Thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas for men and women that are tailored to different life stages, such as postpartum or menopause, and lifestyle factors, such as a plant-based lifestyle, so you can get just what you need. Plus, users of Nutrafol men reported no impact to sexual performance.
Thank goodness. While many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. In a clinical study, 84% of men showed improvement in their hair after 6 months taking Nutrafol Men Hair Growth Supplement, and 90% of women saw overall improvement in their hair after taking Nutrafol Women Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months.
Building a hair growth routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed. Enjoy free shipping, automated deliveries, and up to 20% savings with Nutrafol subscription. Plus, get free naturopathic doctor consults and a Headspace meditation membership.
Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering listeners $10 off your first month subscription. Free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com. Enter promo code CULTURISTAS.
Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. Spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code CULTURISTAS. That's Nutrafol.com. Promo code CULTURISTAS.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The biggest stars, the brightest stage. AT&T WNBA All-Star 2025 comes to Indianapolis July 18th through 19th. Tune into the game July 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC.
A treasure trove of bananas has been stolen, and it's up to Donkey Kong and his buddy Pauline to get them back. This unlikely duo is going on a world-smashing adventure, using DK's destructive abilities to explore an underground world, and the power of Pauline singing to activate wild transformations. Donkey Kong Bonanza, available July 17th. Rated everyone 10 and up. Only on Nintendo Switch 2. Game and system sold separately.
Couple 13-14 pass, Common Man program. I'm Comedy's 10 to be. Mark Rosen here. You're getting ripped.
Okay.
This one says, Rosen definitely isn't afraid of change. He's constantly changing his mind every minute.
Larry Modelo guy?
No, not today. He's been writing that.
I've not been changing my mind about the Twins. Ask me about the season. I haven't changed my mind from yesterday. I just said
Rosen preaching consistency is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Jealous.
I'm about to say something controversial.
Okay. That's interesting.
You like beautiful people seats. You like being in Champions Club courts. I don't. Here's what I like. For instance, hockey, I would never want to be on the glass.
I wouldn't either. I've been down there before.
I'd rather be that second level. I do like...
You get a better view that way.
I do like having a rail seat. I like a rail because then I have a big galoot like you sitting in front of me. I can't see. And then if big galoot is the guy that it's 3rd and 13 for the Bears, and then you have to stand up. And then I'm like, well, now I have to stand up and I can't see around you. So at football games, I'd rather be second or third deck, but on the rail. Baseball, I don't want to be behind home plate. I like being out in center field third so I can see all of the plays develop.
Well, it's hard.
I think that's much better.
Yeah, I think football, like U.S. Bank, I haven't sat there, but I think when I walk down before games, I've done pregame shows down there, et cetera, et cetera. If you're sitting in the first 20 rows or whatever of the lower level, you can't see anything.
No,
it's like asking. I mean, when KOC, he's down there with the headsets on. He can't see everything that's going on. So he'll get asked after the game, what happened to that. Sometimes they have the worst seat in the house. They got a bunch of bodies in front of them, and
correct.
You really can't tell. So I think from a fan, NFL games, that's why we love watching it on TV so much. It's like you're on the 50-yard line, and if you're up higher, I mean, the press box at U.S. Bank is on an angle, so we're in the end zone at U.S. Bank, and they're fine seats. I mean, they're not right in the middle, but it doesn't matter like they used to be at the Metrodome. But they're great. I mean, if you want to look up at the scoreboard when the ball's at the far end of the field, you can see everything. We got a monitor there. Baseball, I mean, you can't. It's harder to pick the ball up when you're that low. When the ball leaves the bat,
That's
it just
correct.
is.
Deuce was. I took them. This was in 2010 when the stadium first opened, and I took Deuce and baby brother Peter, and we had, not making this up, dead center field.
Yeah.
Last row,
up high,
and we get up there, and Deuce says this. I'm not kidding. He goes, "Wow, these are the best seats in the house," and he was being serious.
Yeah,
he loved being up there, and I do too. I love being way up top.
That's the positive side of the Target Field. The footprint of it is that it's not a large, and it's one of the reasons why Target Center is such an outdated arena, and it was from the beginning because when they built it with not enough seats, and David Stern came in and told Marvin Hard, "You got to put X number of more seats in this place. You're not meeting the requirements." So they had to jam a bunch of seats in the upper deck. And unlike the X, or soon to be, I guess we're going to call it the Grand. Is that what we're going to be calling it? After Labor Day, when you have to change the name. Being up higher, the press box at the X is terrific. You got a great location there. Target Field is, my son went there on Saturday. They were down the first baseline somewhere. They loved it. They had great seats down there. So the sight lines are very good at Target Field. They're very good at the X. U.S. Bank's a whole different thing, but depending on where you're sitting and each their own. But I mean, Target Field offers plenty of options, and you're not really going to have a bad seat.
So I'm just responding to something.
That's all right.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you're responding to emails while
Text
you're on
message,
text messages. I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
10 and B, you more of a box seat, front row guy. We always call him front row Rosen.
I'm not the front
row Rosen.
Definitely not in hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey need to be, I would say first section, but like 20 rows up at the red line is where you want to go. Football, I don't even want to be there at all. Just let me watch the game on television because if you are not at the 50-yard line, like if you're at one of the end zones in football, you can't tell whether it was a 3-yard run or a 12-yard run.
Hey, a lot of people just watch the monitor.
You should try that iHeart Media Suite. That's really nice.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball, the Rosen Champions Club tickets where you're right behind home plate because it's the only place you can see balls and strikes, right? You can see how the ball curves in on a pitch. So that's definitely the premier spot.
Yeah. I like
basketball. I wouldn't know. I've never been on the first floor. I've never been invited by anybody that gets those tickets often.
I've been courtside before. That's probably the best way to watch basketball. But again, it's the same thing.
It's a different. I mean, you're the close up and the action that you see is you're not missing out on anything. It's right in front of you. I mean, that's the only thing. Speaking of basketball, go back in time. Ask Chet Holmgren 5 years ago if someone would have told him he was going to sign a rookie extension for about
he made a lot of money,
$250 million. $250 million just after SGA just signed a 4-year, $285 million extension through the 2030 season.
He's a hell of a player.
Well, I mean, he's coming off, and he missed 3 months with another hip injury. He's had some injury issues. His numbers, are modest in nature, but he's got such a defensive presence, and they're literally betting on his future. He's so young, and he's still got a long ways to go in his development, but he's certainly been a force already. And they got all their players returning, and that's why it's hard to say that OKC, of course, will be the unanimous favorite, even though there hasn't been a repeat champion in a long time to repeat. And that's because, I don't know how they're going to keep some of these other players. They got Jalen Williams they got to deal with his rookie extension talks. But, man, they're going to be hitting first apron, second apron. Is there a third apron? I don't know. But there's going to be crumbs left for the guys coming off the bench.
Well, here's the deal. I think, we've been wondering, are the Wolves going to do this? The Wolves going to do that? I think Connolly's biding his time. In 2027, Joker, Antetokounmpo, Curry, Davis, Butler, Towns, Mitchell,
all be free
Kawhi
agents.
Leonard and Doncic, all free agents in 20.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All of those players potential free agents.
Yeah.
That's going to be a free agent bonanza in 2027.
We call that a free agent frenzy.
That's a free agent frenzy.
Yeah, I think Luka just said he's not signing an extension. Yeah, right now with the Lakers. He's not going to do anything this year. He's exactly echoing your words.
And Norris Joker. Oh, he's got 2 years left.
Oh, I'd say yeah. You're right. Maybe it's Joker. I may have gotten those two confused in terms of where they are contractually, but yes. I think Connolly's playing the long game as well. You have to. When you're a GM in that position and you're looking at the salaries, you got to play a very expensive game of Monopoly with your players and still develop them. Like Dillingham and Terrence Shannon are going to start. I think tomorrow is the first Wolves summer league game. They're going to get a lot of extensive playing time. I guess yesterday some of the I obviously at the game last night, so I didn't hear the announcers, but I think the Cubs announcers were saying they were out there earlier today and they saw Anthony Edwards running the stairs yesterday. I mean at Target Field. So I mean they spotted him doing his part of his off-season workout, running the stairs. I guess that's the best place to run stairs. So yeah, I mean we know pretty much the same roster will be back, barring another Tim Connolly pull a rabbit out of a hat late acquisition as the off-season goes along here, which I still think is a possibility with a guard, not necessarily the biggest name that's out there, but they got a lot of veterans that are bouncing around. If that helps, he thinks they can still help. He might sign.
Who do you like for a guard?
I don't know. I'm certainly not sold on. I think Chris Paul's of the world, and there are a couple of guys like that. Beal's situation. I think they need another kind of steady hand out there.
How about Rubio? Is he available?
He retired. Yeah.
When did that happen?
He announced it this past, I don't know, at the end of he took out a front page, a full page.
I must have missed that.
Thank you note to the Minnesota fans for helping him grow up here. Ricky was fun. He was a great kid, too.
Let's take a final break, come back. I got some controversial Vikings news to get to and other topics as well. It's tend to be common in the legendary Mark Rosen here in the Fan.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The biggest stars, the brightest stage. AT&T WNBA All-Star 2025 comes to Indianapolis July 18th through 19th. Tune into the game July 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC.
A treasure trove of bananas has been stolen, and it's up to Donkey Kong and his buddy Pauline to get them back. This unlikely duo is going on a world-smashing adventure, using DK's destructive abilities to explore an underground world, and the power of Pauline singing to activate wild transformations. Donkey Kong Bonanza, available July 17th. Rated everyone 10 and up. Only on Nintendo Switch 2. Game and system sold separately.
Saks off 5th, up to 70% off every day. Summer is officially here, and Saks off 5th is your destination for deals on all of this season's designer must-haves. From breezy linen and floral dresses to chic sandals and beach-ready swim, you'll find everything you need to refresh your summer wardrobe. Discover the latest men's essentials, too. Think lightweight camp shirts, cool summer suiting, and trending loafers. Plus, shop new designer arrivals every week. We're talking Valentino Garavani, Balenciaga, Stuart Weitzman, Hugo Boss, and more. At prices you won't believe. Whether you're packing for a summer getaway, getting ready for upcoming special occasions, or updating your work wardrobe, Saks Off 5th has all the fashion you need. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day.
Ugh. Spam calls. Sound familiar? Introducing Line 2. Get a second phone number right on your existing phone. Imagine discounts, appointments, online forms. Handle it all without giving out your personal number. It's like having a secret weapon against spam. And when those unwanted calls sneak through, boom, blocked. No more interruptions, no more stress. Stay connected, stay protected. Keep your main number safe and out of harm's way. Ready to take back your phone? Visit line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in the App Store today.
Funny how you try to get something produced around here, and it usually takes a week or two.
It never takes a week or two.
Yeah, it can. It can. It's, as far as moving things to get things done.
It's never for me.
You utter something out of an emailer, and all of a sudden it's a sound drop already. Very creative. Who did that?
You don't recognize the voice?
Of course. Very funny.
It's very well done.
Yeah.
And it's true. You're a roller coaster.
I don't like roller coasters.
I've never been a
I've
never been a roller coaster. Oh, you did? I never liked them.
When my kids were young, I used to go on the
terrified.
No, the ones at Valley Fair. I don't like going upside down. I don't mind going, up, down. I did the roller coaster at Valley Fair. It wasn't too bad. And of course, the little the water slide thing.
You'd have to put a gun to my head to get on the one at Valley Fair, and I would try to wrestle the gun out of your hand before we do it. I don't like to be terrified.
I don't like going around in circle. I get, that's where I get, kind of almost like air sickness. And I did, I had to do that, that slingshot thing live on TV. What's it called? At the fair. Oh man, I'm not doing well.
I know what you're talking about. One of those.
Anyway, and I had to do it live on the air with Rebecca Coles, I think, at the time. And I was not too fond of that. And then I had to go do my sportscast minutes later, and I was pretty dizzy. Got through it, but yeah. I stay away from those rides now. Way past that. Roller coaster, Rosie. Is that what it is?
Roller coaster, Rosen.
Okay. All right. There you go. It sticks. Sounds like a T-shirt to me.
Can you play that again, Tenemy?
Yes.
You're listening to Roller Coaster Rosen with the Common Man on the Fan.
That's so good. Sound effects are brilliant.
Genius.
It's you in a nutshell.
It's just brilliant. What was the other one that you're I guess that supplement supplants the other one. Yeah.
What about your Lynx Club?
Well, they're about to tip off in Phoenix. A lot of teams are playing this afternoon. Indiana lost with the Caitlin Clark return.
I thought she was so good. What happened?
I don't know. They came out flat. So they lost.
Do you think she might be a little overrated?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
He's pretty damn good. Paige Beckers is definitely not overrated. She's having a hell of a run.
I think we should have had the Lynx game live on the Fan today. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, it hasn't started yet. So
it has started.
Oh, it has?
They're up 7-2. Lynx are up 7-2.
Oh,
why don't you pay attention?
Well, I was paying attention. I was just looking at the score. The score a minute ago. I thought they tipped off a little later. Well, let's go to it live.
It's already over. Oh, it's 9-2. It's over.
Yeah, they're on a roll. They're out in they're out in Phoenix. So
why are they playing so early?
I don't know. I can't remember the significance of playing a lot of these day games today, but Lynx they win today. They'll be 18-2. That's amazing, and it's a very competitive league right now. So Cheryl's got these guys humming right now. So pretty much all season.
Yeah,
we want to bring on the Liberty. I'm already looking to the finals, looking past the playoffs. I'm already looking to the parade. No, I think the Liberty thing would be made for TV with what happened last year and, the star system.
What happened last year?
Well, they got cheated out of the championship. Yes, they did. It was an awful call.
Yeah, of course it was. If that would have been reversed, then it would have been in favor of the Lynx. You would have said you quit whining.
So apparently this is a long tradition of the WNBA to play these afternoon games. Mm-hmm. They're called camp games. They're games that happen during the day and weekdays and exist as a way of getting summer camp groups and daycare kids out to see a basketball game.
They've had it at Target Center a lot. And normally, that's what I'm saying. Normally,
I was thinking
I thought the Lynx were playing home today.
I thought it was, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of like a field trip day.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I've recanted this tale before. It was in 5th grade, Adams Elementary School. So I must have been 10, 11 years old. So it was in 1969. And, Mr. Kaiser, our teacher, asked the class what we wanted to do for a field trip. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of us guys said we want to go to the Twins game, an afternoon game. He said, if the gals agree, if everybody in the class agrees, and everybody said yes, so we took a field trip, went down to Metropolitan Stadium, got on the bus, went down there, was great, loved it. I mean, you're 11 years old and baseball is your favorite sport. Phenomenal. You get a day off of school to go down to watch a baseball game. Yeah, it was, we didn't have front row seats.
Well, who did?
And the teacher, and Mr. Kaiser let us wander the stadium. He had a pair of binoculars, and he kept an eye on us.
That's great.
So, I think our seats were like in left field foul territory, but we went over. I liked sitting on the wooden benches out in right field behind Tony Oliva.
Those were great. Even down the left field line, they had the bleachers there too.
Yeah,
and they had, there was something
not the wooden ones though.
No. There was something called Knot Hole Day. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you remember that. Kids would get in. It took us for a couple bucks or $1.50, whatever, and get your Frosty Malt and your Schweigert hot dog. And
you loved that, didn't you?
Did I love it? Yeah. I'll be out there tonight getting a dog for sure. It's great. I mean, like a night like last night, it was just absolutely perfect. It was like a bathwater night. The sun was out. I mean, like I said, the game went along so quickly. Eighth inning was 2 hours old, and then it dragged a little bit, and the Twins had 6 runs, but added 6 runs. But
I brought it to 10.
Tonight, I can't wait to get back out there tonight.
I brought it up to Tenebee just the other day. When they first announced a pitch clock, I was absolutely against it. I said,
Really?
Well, yeah, I was. Let me guess, you were all for it.
I was certainly intrigued by it.
I was. I was adamantly against it. I thought, that's part of the game, and I've changed my mind.
Yeah,
I do like that. I don't think games. Have we had a game? Take away extra inning games. Is there a game in Major League Baseball that's been over 3 hours? I'm sure there's been one or two.
Probably the Yankees and Red Sox play. They still go 3 hours for some reason, but
no, I don't. That's
probably for the most part. There can still be X number of pitching changes and delays and somewhat. But
correct.
I think that plus not being able to throw over the first base 8 times when you got a runner that might be a threat to steal.
Correct.
That helps a lot as well.
Is that Googleable? Is that Googleable? Tenebee, how many games have been over 3 hours or more in Major League Baseball this year? Because I bet it's very, very few. They clock in about 2 hours, 20 minutes. which is about the length of a National Hockey League game, right? Is a National Hockey League game about 2 hours, 20 minutes, I think. Almost, because there's other than stops in action for icing or a penalty, or a goal, really, they play, they don't stop skating. They go.
And then a sport that probably drags along more than any other right now.
It does, and then the NBA, fouls would slow it down.
Yeah.
But still, the NBA, the game is still 2 hours, 20 minutes, basically. It doesn't go much longer than that. So baseball was one we just never knew. It could be a fast-paced game. If you had, remember,
the average time is 2 hours and 40 minutes this year. I can't give you a list of the longest.
So the average is 2:40. And I would
think... Back in 2021, it was 3:11.
Yeah. Well, so it doesn't sound like a lot, 31 minutes. And it's really not. It is and it's not. 31 minutes is not that big of a deal. But
the perception of it.
Yeah, and if you're sitting in the stands, and after a while, especially, if the game gets to be a blowout.
Oh, yeah.
And you're there, and it continues to be played at a snail's pace. Yeah. So I'm all for the pitch clock. I think it's one of the best innovations
I 100%
that any
agree.
Sport has made.
Yeah.
In ages.
It took them a long time.
You know what baseball team has a time clock for the entire game? The Savannah Bananas.
The Savannah
2-hour time limit.
10 is a big Savannah Banana guy.
They're intriguing.
No new inning can start after an hour and 50 minutes unless the game is tied.
That's funny. That sounds like a Mike Veck invention, really.
You should do a field trip day to the Common Man program. Have a bunch of summer camp kids come by 1600 Utica to watch a live showing of the Grum from the KFAN press box. It would be life-changing for those kids.
You got about 8 to 10 of them in here?
Okay, Larry Mandela guy.
Oh, my God.
He thinks that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. I talked about this a couple of times over the years. One of the best promotions we ever had for, certainly for this show, but maybe even in the radio station, we had Common Man's Day off. This was back when we were still at the in Bloomington in the bank building.
Yeah, Xerxes or whatever.
And we had, you showed up at the radio station about 7 a.m., I think it was, listeners, climbed on a couple of big buses, went over to Humphrey, got on a plane, Sun Country, flew to, not LaGuardia, what's the other one in New York?
JFK?
I think it was, maybe it was LaGuardia. If you were going to go to Queens, which one would you fly into, do you think?
Probably JFK.
Okay. So we flew in, got on a couple more buses, went to Flushing Meadows, watched the Mets take on the Colorado Rockies. Plus you got $20 of Mets bucks. They gave you basically, here's $20 to spend in the stadium. Game over. Back on the bus, back to the airport and back home all in one day. We called it Common Man's Day off. It was $75 a person.
How did you pull that off?
I think Sun Country was
promotion.
How long has Sun Country been around now?
Well,
I think they were just kind of really trying to get their, pardon the pun, get their feet off the ground.
My goodness, what a promotion!
It was the greatest. We filled 2 buses. It was the greatest thing ever.
I would assume people would have been lined up around the block.
It was so much fun, and then
I never heard of that.
And we did it all in one day.
Yeah.
So flew out, watched the game, turned around, came back.
There are a lot of people now that do that. Like, when the Vikings play the Packers, there's charters, etc. When it's a noon game, you can fly out that morning. Obviously, get there in plenty of time for the kickoff, and then you get on a bus and get back to the airport and fly home that night. I think the Gophers do that as well. But yeah, I had never heard that.
That was
the Mets and the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah,
Colorado was.
I don't even remember who won. It
doesn't matter.
Nobody cared.
No,
there was it was a fan event, so there was some drinking going on. I think, I think there was some drinking going on. And the one unfortunate one of the buses going from Shea back to the airport broke down, so we had to put everybody on one bus. I mean, that's probably illegal. I think. I don't know how many people.
It wasn't a school bus, was it?
No, it was a charter bus.
Yeah, charter
bus. And so, I don't know what capacity is on that, but we doubled it. And like I say, I don't know. That's probably illegal.
Yeah, I don't think they probably frown on that today.
Yeah, but we got back one way or the other. Yeah.
Wow. That was a long time ago. I wasn't there.
It was 95 or 96, 97, something like that. 98. It wasn't late. It was mid to late 90s.
Mid-80s, mid-90s. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a hell of a road trip, hell of a promotion.
Tenneby and I would like to do a a common man's weekend off and go to the Open Championship in Portsmouth and bring listeners. Well, one of the stations.
That sounds great.
That would be great.
You guys are still going to Europe, right?
Huh? Breaking up.
For the Vikings game in Dublin?
Laughing at us because we're not going now.
Yeah, I didn't know. I hadn't heard. I haven't talked to anybody in the coroner's office.
It was after I said that my wife and I would be very interested in going. I've heard nothing since then.
Crickets.
I think Abbott shuts that stuff down.
Yeah,
it's too much work for him to help put it together and stuff.
Well, don't have him do it. Have Little B do it. She's the one that does all the work back there. He's about to walk in here.
Well, he's about to leave. It's almost 3 o'clock.
He was busy. He was in the meat grinder today.
I remember when I was programming radio stations. I mean, it was like...
You programmed?
Oh.
I didn't know.
It was like all day, every day. Yeah. 8, 10, 12, 15 hours I was there. It's not like that anymore. No. I don't think people have the work ethic they once did that like I had when I was programming radio stations. Nose to the grindstone, roll up the sleeves, getting all sorts of things done. Yeah.
Working weekends.
Yeah.
Whatever it took, that's the way it worked.
Now everybody wants this, what do they call it, work-life balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PTO.
Go do your balancing
time
act.
off.
Go do your balancing act somewhere else. It's a radio station we got to run, man. We're 24 hours a day. It's not like, McDonald's, they shut it down at 11. We're 24 hours a day.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of syndicated shows.
Well, still, we operate 365 days.
I understand that. Miss the old days of Channel 4 where they signed off and played the national anthem at night on Saturday night.
They would shut it down at midnight. We now conclude our broadcast day. Please join us at 6 a.m. for Roundhouse Rodney and it would be Clancy.
That was on Channel 11. Clancy the Cop was on Channel 4. Yeah, they played the national anthem and then
they had a big old flag flying
would
there.
Go like the Perkins
They had a camera
flag.
outside of Perkins. You're stealing my Flops
I'm
Volunteers
sorry.
material.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to steal my material.
I didn't know that was your material.
Well, of course you do, because you've worked with me before.
I know, but I never listened to your shtick. I'm just patting myself on the back after my performance by then. Those were the days. My God.
Come and tell Mr. New York that LaGuardia Airport is in Queens. Rosie knows New York City about as good as he knows St. Paul.
I always love that one.
Well, JFK is closer to Flushing Meadows. When I've gone that area, I always thought JFK was closer to, it's certainly closer to Shea Stadium at that time. I thought JFK was, not LaGuardia. I don't know. I thought.
You don't know New York as well as you thought you
I fly to Newark now, I flew there a couple weeks ago. It was great. I know they had troubles a while back, but they opened a new runway and they're on time. It's a beautiful concourse, smooth as could be. I should look that up. I'm not going to.
What's your favorite airport?
My favorite?
You've traveled all over the world.
I'll tell you, we have one hell of an airport here.
I've read that it's ranked like number 1 in the United States.
I'm
or
not
number
saying
2
that to pat ourselves on the back.
It does get highly rated. It gets highly rated
for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's astonishing to think of the goods and services they have for the passengers now. That you can get walking through the airport.
Guardsy practically lives there.
Like Mia Kowalski.
That's exactly right.
I don't know. I'd say, give that some thought. Palm Springs.
I do like the Palm Springs.
It's a great airport.
It's an open air airport.
Yeah, it's an open air. You fly right in there. Your rental cars. You don't have to. The one thing I hate, like going to LAX, is the worst. Of course, LAX is a monster of a place to go anyway. But when you have to get your luggage and then you got to get on a shuttle bus, what's going on?
It's an old bit.
Oh, okay.
Several sources rank airports, and the top spots vary slightly depending on the criteria. Mm-hmm. Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta International Airport consistently ranks high in passenger traffic.
Yeah.
Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Detroit Metropolitan are often praised for their amenities in traveler experience.
Yeah.
John Wayne Airport, Orange County, and Tampa International Airport also have received high satisfaction scores.
Fort Myers has improved a lot. They went from a kind of a rinky-dink airport years ago to, obviously with a massive number of tourists down that area now, they had to make changes, and they did. Yeah, Palm Springs is, anytime you go to an open air airport, like in Turks and Caicos,
You're unbelievable.
I had to say that. Get off the plane, that hot area.
This one says, Flushing Meadows way closer to LGA.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I
this one
always
says,
I'm wrong. Okay, I admit it. I thought JFK was closer. JFK is not closer.
I thought Rosen was a New York City guy. LaGuardia is like 10 minutes from Met Stadium. You can see the planes landing, but he suggests flying to JFK and taking a bus in an hour.
My bad.
Maybe you're not.
I don't pay attention to airports. I'm too busy thinking about where I'm going to eat dinner that night.
And then remember that time somebody reminded me that, you last time in New York, you went and bought a hot dog. And then someone said, why don't you put more toppings? And you said, I went back and got more. So you took a couple of bites out of the hot dog and then went back and got more toppings.
I actually did. Yeah. I didn't realize I needed. I do that. You ever do that at home? I did that over the weekend. I grilled some hot dogs from Kowalski's and I put some mustard on. I said, I took a couple bites.
You said I
don't have enough condiments on here.
So what'd you do?
I added more.
What did you get? A little relish?
I'm not a relish guy. I just added more mustard to the dog. I wanted more. So I did it. That's exactly what I did. Nothing wrong with that. It's like adding steak sauce when you're having a steak, or if you're having barbecue chicken, you want to put barbecue sauce and add more. What's the difference?
I don't.
There's no difference. Food is food.
Honolulu has an open air.
I know. I'm aware of that. Yes.
Well, of course, because you're world traveler.
You get off the plane, you smell the flowers, and that's probably my favorite airport to land in.
Mine is probably in Costa Rica. That's also open air.
Yeah. Well, any of those are phenomenal. Yeah. Especially if you fly in the wintertime and you walk off that jetway and it hits you in that's the best. Then you remember you got to fly home. That's the worst. Anyway.
Yeah. You should do a podcast on world travels because you've been everywhere.
I haven't been everywhere. No, not even close.
Did you do a podcast today?
I did one is Monday. Rick Aberman. Okay. Rick Aberman is a sports psychologist. Really interesting. You can hear it here in iHeart podcasts and a bunch of other places. He worked for the University of Wisconsin. He worked for the Twins for about 20 years. He worked with the Vikings. He had a lot of interesting theories about today's athlete, dealing with social media.
There were a lot of people that texted in that said you'd probably do that podcast for a couple of weeks and then just quit. That's you get bored with it. But look at you diving in.
No, I got people lined up like crazy. Yeah.
That's what you do.
People want to come on my show.
Yeah.
Do you blame them? I do. No, I really don't.
I've been waiting for an invite. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Tenemy, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We're back tomorrow, 12 noon. Thanks for being with us. Don't touch that dial. Justin Garden for Dan Barrero. He's next, right? Sure in the Fan.
Oh, boy.
Wherever you are.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The biggest stars, the brightest stage. AT&T WNBA All-Star 2025 comes to Indianapolis July 18th through 19th. Tune into the game July 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC.
This is Jana Kramer from Wind Down with Jana Kramer. When we were deciding on our appliances for the house, Samsung was at the top of our list. And I love my Samsung appliances, especially because they're so reliable. And with my busy schedule, having reliable appliances has been a game changer. It's no wonder Samsung is the #1 brand for customer satisfaction. That's why I'm excited to tell you all about Samsung's new line of smart appliances featuring their brand new bespoke AI laundry combo. This incredible magic machine washes and dries in one machine, one load, no transfers, no timers, no rewashing needed. New bespoke AI appliances. This is home living made simple. For more information, visit samsung.com/bespoke.
68-minute cycle based on 27-inch combos, based on using a super speed cycle only with a 10-pound DOE load, cotton 50% plus polyester 50%. Individual results may vary based on actual load content.
A treasure trove of bananas has been stolen. And it's up to Donkey Kong and his buddy Pauline to get them back. This unlikely duo is going on a world-smashing adventure, using DK's destructive abilities to explore an underground world, and the power of Pauline singing to activate wild transformations. Donkey Kong Bonanza, available July 17th. Rated everyone 10 and up. Only on Nintendo Switch 2. Game and system sold separately.
Saks Off 5th, up to 70% off every day. Summer is officially here. Time to dress like it. From breezy linen and floral dresses to chic sandals and beach-ready swim. Saks Off 5th has the designer styles you'll live in all season long. Plus, shop new arrivals every week. You'll find Alice and Olivia, Valentino Garavani, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day.